Hey kids, I've made a fool of myself for the past hour and I can't take it anymore and I'm just gonna give up and quit the whole project. Not! Ah, fooled you! Welcome back! This is Uncle Dr. Ernie doing awesome stuff badly, and that's what we're all about. Fail, 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 succeed, then fail some more. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. I took an hour break. My mom made me some hot soup, and I'm ready to go back to failing some more until we figure this out. Because that's what we're here for. All right, so start my timer so I don't waste more than a half hour at a time, and let's get started. So, as you know, for the last hour or so, I've been trying to figure out how to get JavaScript up on the browser rather than just a fiddle or on the server side. I'm running into all sorts of problems, and I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going to try a few different things this episode. First thing I'm going to do is try to clear up the JavaScript from server side to client side, or vice versa. Anyway, so one of the things I'm going to do that is create a Git branch. So Git stores everything you do, but it's, by default, it stores it all in one place. So I'm going to split it out. So I'm going to do a git checkout dash b serverish, no, clientish. This creates a branch. I had all this stuff which I had not changed. So let me just go back to checkout master, git-am, which is then server side coffee script. And then go back to git checkout clientish. And okay, so I'm trying to read what's going on. I think this is what I want. That I was requiring this stuff from my client. Oh, it didn't have jQuery on there. Let's git pull master, merge master. Okay, there we go. Our jQuery stuff here, which is cool. And what I've been trying to do was require the CoffeeScript stuff in there, but that was actually just making it more confusing because you get these massive files inside your browser. And what I was going to do is go back to what I had before, but never actually checked in. Bad, my bad. So let's go and get the CDN for jQuery, no, for CoffeeScript. And throw that puppy in here. All right, so jQuery UI, CoffeeScript. Which, for some reason, always needs this, even though they never include it. I don't know why. And then from CDN.js, pulling down the Reactive-Coffee. And that goes here. And okay, so what we should be doing is pulling in all that stuff from there, then just taking the naked the main.js file, which we will regenerate here. Yes, that should be there. And then when I go here, I should get the same error, but on a much simpler piece of code. Well, a slightly simpler piece of code. But all those things are pulled in separately, which is good. And my errors. No, it does not look like it's doing the simpler one. So let's see, did I actually save this? I did not. Let me go save this. And okay, pennies are not meant for reactive. And ooh, it's giving me my CoffeeScript file. Much better. That's nice. Of course, it's still not working. So let's think this through. The problem is jQuery and Browserify. Okay. Oh. This looks like current. Yeah, it's from last year. Okay. Okay, so what's happening here, and this actually looks to be the core issue, which was just masked by all the other stupid things I was doing, is that this CoffeeScript is intended to run directly in the browser, but it's not. It's actually running indirectly in the browser as a module that's being loaded by all this fancy mechanics that I'm using to help organize my code. It raises the question whether this is just a really silly thing to be doing and whether I should just skip Browserify and just manually generate the JavaScript to get started first. In fact, that's a really good question. Let's try that. Let's just create the JavaScript file using the coffee command. So the coffee command takes a CoffeeScript file and generates a JavaScript file. And it doesn't like that either. I wonder if that error message is any more. Yeah, it looks too old for that. Is this the same thing? And the JavaScript references should come first. Did I not do those first? Sure, looks like they did. Reference error is not defined. Dar, what are we trying to do? jQuery is included. Plugin is included with jQuery file. The protocol and the URL is page from your local file system. So all those things are loading properly. So Reactive is expecting dollar and somebody's got to have found this before. Oh, that couldn't possibly be the problem. Well, it was a problem. That's something. I don't know what, but it's something. So, where are we next? We have... Let's just see what happens if I don't. Okay, so it's not my code. That's interesting. And it's not... Okay, so it is that code. So the Reactive-Coffee piece is where the actual problem is happening. So that's good. That means there's nothing I can do in my code about it. It's happening because of the way these dependencies are structured. So this makes the question of, where was the last version of Reactive-Coffee? Hmm. Do we have a version here somewhere? Okay, we have a Bower file, which is 123. So why can we not find Reactive-Coffee 123 in a CDN somewhere? That's 122. So 553. That's just annoying. Should not be severely problematic. But it's still annoying. So Reactive-Coffee is expecting something it's not finding. And where should it be getting that from is the question. Let's just see. Well, this is a hacked branch where we're just trying things out. Let's just see what the minimum thing we can do that would generate that error. If you can't stop the error from happening, then if you can't solve the problem, then see if you can at least identify the problem. So we were here in, where were we? Yeah, this is. I have no idea what I'm doing. You guys are all used to that by now, right? Good. Hopefully no poor teacher is ever making people to do this. Worst case, some poor history major is going through all the things my massive quantity of data exhaust and ran into this. So I don't know if it makes me feel better or worse to think no one's actually ever watching any of these videos I'm generating. Okay, web/index.html. Try this again. And then open. There we go. Okay. Inspect element. There's an error. Dependency still not met. That's your only problem? Okay, so now that's interesting. Without Reactive-Coffee, it loads my JavaScript just fine. Though it probably doesn't appear to actually do anything, of course. Well, let's see here. So main.js is empty. That probably helps the process somewhat. Let's try it again with the still can't find the variable underbar. Okay. Let's start over again at the very beginning. Yes, yeah, only halfway through the episode. Still doesn't work. And the quotes are going to be screwed up to make it even less likely to work. Okay, still doesn't work. Okay, let's just go back to non-browserify. Check out -b non-browserify. You guys still with me? Okay, good. Let's close this out and let's go back and find the original Reactive-Coffee tutorial. On underscore min.js. Maybe if I had read this a long time ago, I wouldn't be having these problems. So let's go back to master, which is nicely redrawn for me here, and just add. I do need underscore.js. You know, I was looking at underscore.js. I should have at least tried it. I didn't. Okay, that's what happens when you do stupid stuff badly. Let's check CDN, just make sure those are current since everything else seems to be out of date. Just underscore JS, there we go. Breathe. Okay, then let's just reload. Different error. Progress. Yay. Tutorial Reactive-Coffee. And do I get that error if there's nothing here? That's the real question. No. Okay. So that means that my code is the problem, which means I have a fighting chance of actually fixing this. Let's throw that in there just for the heck of it. Oh. Okay. Sweet. And then see what's happening here. Yes. Okay. That's all right. Okay, so let's just try this one line at a time and see what happens. That's an idea. What if we just ignored all that stuff? Nothing. Um, let's just create a inline branch. Just see how far it goes. Be useful to keep this in a separate window because it's getting hard to see with all the other files floating around here. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. Alright, it is not happening. jQuery underscore. Yes. The inline stuff, the actual CDN has to be there. Interesting, I wonder if it actually includes CoffeeScript pieces. It certainly implies that it does. That it requires jQuery and underscore, but not CoffeeScript. Wait, that is CoffeeScript, yes? Yeah, it is. Yeah, we do actually have CoffeeScript's version 1.6.3. Reactive 1.2. I was probably confused about that for a very long time. But let's see, can we actually run that without getting an error? No, we cannot. Oh, but that was just because of that. Well. Okay. So we finally gotten to the point where we are inlining CoffeeScript. And is it actually drawing something? No. It's not crashing or giving an error. Let's see if we can actually get a line. A line, a line, a kingdom for my line. Let's see. It looks nice, but it's not actually doing anything, is it? Where is this tutorial supposed to be happening? Let's see. So there is a lot of scripts that are used for the environment, but it does actually seem to actually have CoffeeScript in there, right? Oops. Well, I got 5 minutes left. My wife is calling, so I'm going to stop now. Bye!